June 17th, 9:52 a.m. District Courtroom, or not courtroom, defendant lobby, number 2.
This isn't the big day. Did you get any sleep? Yeah, I went to bed at 1 a.m. or so. Oh, what time did you wake up? 3 a.m. 2 hours sleep. That's only 2 hours, Apollo. But at least you have me.
Put that thing away.
And the amazing Mr. Hat. Here's looking at you, kid.
Good luck today, Apollo. That Phoenix.
That voice.
Get any sleep?
Mr. Right.
I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out early today. Some other place makes fake piano playing at Indochine pasta joints seem almost fun.
Daddy, do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today?
Take a guess.
How about Little Plum?
That's Sherman Tank for a mom. Nope. Guess again.
That's too bad, you know. Speaking of moms, you need to find me a new mommy one of these days, Daddy.
It's barely morning and you're already at it, Trucy.
Okay, see, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship. So, Mr. Rye, do you know who the prosecution's witness is?
Alida Tiala, your client's fiance.
She's gonna be a witness? But that seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiance?
You have to wonder what Gavin's up to.
Something's going down that today. That much is clear. Well, not to worry. I got my panties back. If I can't find a killer, I'll pull one of them out. Pull one out of there. Well, here we go.
June 17th, 10 a.m., courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Waki Kitaki. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Prosecution is warmed up. Also, no, it's an all sold out house.
Very well, to recap. While yesterday's witness seemed more guilty than any other party, guilty of panty snatching, we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park at the time of the murder. The witness, the victim, and the defendant.
There's one more. Correct there, Judge. Today, I'd like to do something a little new age. I'd like to look at the whole crime from the outside.
The outside?
The acquisition of the murder weapon. The preparation for the act. Our poor defendant told all, you see, to his betrothed.
His betrothed?
His fiancée, our judge, his partner for life, with no chance for parole.
Very well, he may show their lucky lady to the stand.
Oh boy. Your name and occupation, Friday? Alida Tiala. My occupation is future wife. That's not an occupation.
Ah, traditional values. I respect that. Too many brides these days. Can't even weave baskets blindfolded, underwater. Yeah, you've here today as a witness for the prosecution.
To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first. But I couldn't hide the truth.
Honesty, another admirable trait.
Friday, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant, Waki Kitaki, confess his plans. His plans for murder. Yes.
The witness will please give her testimony to the court.
It was the day that the family health checkup results came back. When Walkie found out that Dr. Morectus had lied, he flew into a rage. I'll teach him, he said. Took one of the family's pistols. And you already know what happened that night. Just knew how anyone but Walkie could have done it.
Oh, the third statement's the only one that's... So the pistol did belong to the Kentucky family, then?
Yes, with regards to who is this, an investigation is underway at the Kentucky mansion on charges of possession of illegal firearms.
And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it?
Fired from the pistol the defendant procured. Yes, this has been proven.
How can you prove something like that?
Ballistic markings.
Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired him, and called rifling marks. Rifling marks?
Think of them as a gun's fingerprints left on every bullet it fires.
And when did you first hear about Walkie's plan?
It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I didn't think he would actually do it.
Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
Definitely this one.
So, is it easy to take a pistol out from the house?
Not really. I think there's a system in place to limit access. But Waukie's a special case, being the next in line. Perhaps his treatment was a bit too special, ja? Well, maybe he's a bit spoiled. I hear he's got amazing presents for his birthdays. Last year was a switchblade made of chewing gum and a chocolate gravestone.
Sounds like he has a taste for sweets and danger. The point being here that Walkie had access to a pistol. What happened? Meaning the murder?
I tried to stop him. I really did. But Walkie wouldn't listen. Our defendant was nothing but determined, it seems.
Last thing you should do is blame yourself, miss. How can you say that for certain? How?
Air forehead. You will refrain from battering for the Fraulein. It was the defendant, Walkie, who took her pistol from her house. We know that for a fact now.
Suppose we do.
So how could anyone else have used the pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simple logic, ja.
That does seem to be the case. Does the defense have anything to say regarding this point? Could someone else have used that pistol?
I mean, technically, yes. There was other people other than him that had access. But also think of the time, what we learned yesterday from the guy. You said that he heard a shot, and then Walkie threw the pistol. She could have picked it up at that point. But I don't know if that's
whoever was in.
I don't know if this is the point we can point that out. But I feel like we have to say there was another. What are you thinking?
I say we say there's another and see if anything pops up. Based on testimony, there was clearly another. One other person had access to that pistol.
What's this?
Ah, interesting. Let's ask the defense then. Tell the court who is this other person that can access was. That's the mom for sure.
Well, no, it's
And
the
the
father.
dad. His dad could, yeah.
It could be the dad. It could be the mom too, but I think the dad is more what it could be asking for here.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's this? What? The boss and his wife?
Ah,
Huh.
an expected ploy.
Apollo, that can't be right. Why would they want to frame their only son? Oh.
Okay.
But they did have access. I would have clicked this myself. He's with him all the time too.
There's her.
Well, of course, I mean, you, Miss Tiala.
Huh? Me? But why?
You were quite clear when you told the court. You heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you knew what he was planning.
Objection!
Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us that this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé? And killed a man in cold blood on his behalf? Kinda. I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this?
It does seem a bit unfathomable, to be sure. I'm all for romance and for supporting your partner in life, to be sure. But I think I would hesitate at murder. I'd hope you do more than hesitate. But what if a different connection could somehow be proven? A connection between the witness and the victim. You might find that she had a personal motive beyond wanting to help her fiancé.
That would put things in a slightly different light. What possible connection are you suggesting here?
You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that the police never looked inside that safe. I have evidence showing a connection between the witness, Tiala, and the victim. That looks like a medical chart. Found inside the safe at the Miraculous Clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart. What? Miss Tiala, whatever. Why is your name on this chart? Oh, that face. Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiala?
I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Mr. Justice. Oh, she's getting a feisty now. You can see that.
A warm little fiance just froze over.
I was on a staff at that clinic until half a year ago. It was boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that? Yes.
There's a huge problem with that. You testified you had no connection to the victim.
And I don't. No. Now.
Now.
I quit half a year ago, didn't I? So there's no connection. Doesn't matter if you quit there. You still have a connection to him regardless. So like, oh, I haven't seen this person in like forever. I have no connection to him. That's a lie. Let me guess. You're the kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past. Am I right?
That's not true at all. Why, I embrace the ones I love, past flaws and all, and there's no connection now. It doesn't fly in court of law.
Doesn't fly? Look at her face. It's just like,
She's one tough nut. She probably feels right at home with the Katakis. You left your job at the Miraculous Clinic, true. But you remain connected somehow. Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the miraculous clinic.
Would it be the shoes? Because her shoes are there.
Yep. These sandals were found in the miraculous clinic lobby. They're yours, aren't they?
Well, who knows? I'm sure there's lots of people with those sandals. So sorry, Fraulein, but your act isn't working. Your moment of hesitation just now cost you. So he's actually calling her out on that. That's interesting. That's interesting. Like he caught her act, and he's just like, Fraulein, you ain't that's not in here. I know you. I know it. Just that moment of hesitation just now cost you. What's with you? I thought you were on my side. Perhaps you're unaware that toes leave toe prints. Simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all. And she's like, well, crap. Well, now we see your true colors. I was wrong to cooperate with you from the beginning. I just wanted to help you get Walkie back on the straight and narrow.
This court thinks you need to worry less about Walkie and more about yourself. It sounds like, though, we need to hear a bit more about your story. Your sandals were found in the entrance hall to the clinic. Which means you went there on the day of the murder.
Well, there's little point in denying it.
Very well, the witness will tell us about this visit. Why did you go to the miraculous clinic that day?
I did go to the clinic that day. My first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him after all. I knew Walkie had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man. Too timid to admit his own mistake. Why else would I have gone? I'm not holding any dark secrets. Wanted to tell him to be careful, as an old friend.
By mistake, you mean? The mistake we heard about from the defendant. The botched operation.
He was a timid, small man, but I never wished him harm. I just thought I should let him know, you know?
That does make sense.
Yes, but there's still one thing, which does not.
What's that, Professor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin?
These sandals left in the lobby, of course. Could assume she wore these sandals to the clinic, yeah? Why did she not wear them home? If it were me, I would have worn them home. He's pointing out stuff that should be Apollo saying this. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Clavier, what are you doing?
I would have worn those sandals home too.
So why was the sandals left behind?
He's pointed the contradiction before me.
Wait. What if she did take the sandals home, and the reason they were there in that moment is because she's the one that broke into the office, and she couldn't come back and get them because we were there. So that's why she had to go out the window.
True. And she still had... How did she survive the window in socks? Or bare feet?
Who knows? There's probably a good explanation for this, right, Miss Tiala? Say, for instance, there happened to be a similar pair of sandals which you wore home by mistake. Come on. You can't prove that, Clavier. You can't prove that at all.
That's goofy. Really goofy.
Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin.
I see his angle.
This bullcrap would not fly. This is not okay. Oh, it's nothing. There is. After all, no other explanation, Ja.
Oh, what the? No fair. He's filling the holes in her testimony. The defense may begin the cross-examination.
All right, where do we want to destroy her at? I feel like this one.
Why else would I have gone? I was not hiding any dark secrets.
I think this is gonna be
No
it.
dark secrets, eh?
Because she knew about this. She knew about this, and she didn't tell Waki. Waki had no idea.
Explain a lot.
What? Look at me however you want, Mr. Justice. You won't find a thing.
She's hiding something, I know it. Must have some evidence that proves it too.
You're free to think whatever you like. Went to that clinic with only one thought in mind. Because why would I'm not?
It's exactly where the document came from, though.
Yeah, it was where the document came from, but we haven't got. I don't think we've gotten that far. I think her dark secret's this, because she probably didn't know the bullet was in there.
Hmm.
But she knew this document would be in there.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, let's go with it.
Objection! Yes. Haha.
Chart was found inside a safe in the doctor's office.
Yes.
Why would this one chart be in that safe? Miss Tiala, do you know why you know why it was, don't you? Mind filling me in? Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making mistakes. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth locked away.
Batter doctor.
And this is where you come in, Miss Tiala. The nurse who filed this chart was you, which means you knew about Waki's failed operation. Interesting. You were in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kinda makes it hard to claim no connection, doesn't it?
You're a bolt for a novice. I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was a nurse. I was only a nurse. Your doctor is responsible for the chart's contents.
This chart business seems to be quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly.
Too bad, little attorney. Oh, I think I see it.
What did you see? Her hand, or?
I think it's her hand position.
My bracelet's reacting again. What is it, Apollo? I felt my bracelet tighten just now. Your bracelet? Just like yesterday, like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away. But I can't see anything, Apollo. Eh? Then what's my bracelet reacting to? Wait, maybe. Yes, that has to be it. What has to be it?
Is it something different then? Is it not her hand? Her hand? Because like right when she said that, she did this.
Yeah, she's.
It's like.
Your senses, Apollo. They must be sharper than mine. Huh. I can't see it, but you can sense it. I don't know about that, Tracy. I don't have some kind of special power or anything. Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony. But we don't know what her nervous habit is. Well, then what do we do? You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo. With your eyes and your senses. And it's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down that testimony.
Yeah, I think it might be her hand position. She does it in this one too.
Don't you press on it?
I haven't repressed this.
Why would I...
Wait.
She's moving her ring! She's moving her ring! Here again, here again. Look at her ring.
Gotcha!
It had to have been something with her hand.
Why go to the clinic for half-a-year-old chart now, you ask? But you know why you would go now, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was quite clear, Miss Fiala, you have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring.
What?
She was unsure. I saw it. Now, that's the key word. The chart wasn't a part of your past. It was a clear and present threat.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Why, if that was the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it.
Indeed.
Eh?
Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now. Got her on the ropes now. I can feel
So
it.
this is probably his checkup report then.
Well, his checkup happened.
His checkup happened the day of the crime,
Yeah.
and then this report was from 6 months ago.
Miss Fiala, there's no use trying to hide it. The chart became a threat to you now because of this.
Take that!
A health checkup report belonging to the defendant. The Kentuckys are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup this month was their first ever. What did you think of when you heard about this?
Nothing. Why would I think anything?
Oh, I would think that you were positively beside yourself. Because you were afraid you knew what Walkie's chest x-ray would reveal.
Mm.
A full half year had passed since the operation. You thought you were home free. When the chart came back to haunt you. That's all, Your Honor. What just happened? Did the witness just admit to lying?
I sensed it. There was a great aura emitting from her forehead. Very cool. So the lady was lying, it seems.
That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maractus Clinic. But her connection was deep indeed. A bit too deep. If the Kataki's got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't that right, Miss Tiala?
You guessed it.
Order, order. I did it. I broke her testimony. Amazing, Apollo. I didn't see it all. Daddy was right about you.
Wait.
Miss Tiala?
It's true. That chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet with the doctor that day. But that's all. Told him about Waki and went home. It appears this cross-examination is far from over.
What?
To hear the truth from us, this is clear. Yet, it's not clear that this truth has anything to do with the case at hand. I mean, fair point. We haven't tied it to the actual killing yet, but
We could tie a shoe
let us
there.
cook. Just let us cook.
Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony. And we'll have a bit more cross-examination. Great, so close. You're still close. Keep on her, Apollo. Yeah, no, that's the,
This is where the bullet comes in. I think.
Well, you have a bullet inside the safe, so...
Objection!
You're saying nothing happened in the doctor's office. I disagree. Take a look at this.
What's that? Looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kind of like you, actually.
This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Something did happen. In that office, Miss Tiala.
Objection!
Enough of this joking around. The police investigated that clinic.
Objection!
Ah, but this was stuck inside the doctor's safe.
Inside the safe?
I guess the police didn't check that far.
Objection!
Sorry, I'm having connection issues.
But there's a problem. How can you say the bullet was fired on that day?
Objection!
Check the ballistic markings.
Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us?
He's like, oh crap, yeah, I did that. I did that, didn't I?
The pistol was taken from the Kataki mansion that day. If the marks on the bullet match the murder weapon, then that proves the firearm was discharged in that office on the day of the murder.
Not bad, Air Forehead.
Bailiff, have this bullet analyzed immediately. Minutes later, report arrives.
There it is. The rifle markings
Yeah,
on the
they're
bullet are supposed
identical.
identical.
Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position. The bullet in that safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in that office on that day. And at the time of the firing, the safe was open. The safe in which contained the top secret chart. Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maractus in order to open the safe? Only one person was in such a position to do such a thing.
But the thing is, the safe was open when that shot was fired. There was no bullet hole in the door of the safe. So that's problem number one. Is that there was no hole in the safe, so that means it had to be open. So if it was her that fired that shot in that office, that would mean she would have just taken it then. She would that document wouldn't have been there.
What if he fired? Like the victim fired?
No, I think the bullet Kitaki fired or Waki fired was the one in the office.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any evidence that backs up the fact that the body was moved. So I think if Mr. Kitaki actually fired the gun, it would have been the one in the office. Because it was only shot twice.
One's in the office and one's during the actual
And we have
execution.
evidence that places her at the crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, the guy said he heard the gunshot. So that's the other problem.
Our witness, Alita Tiala. Order. Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness? Alita Tiala knew about the Waki-Kitaki's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as that bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him and then the bullet finally reached its destination? What?
That reminds me. Apparently, Kitakis have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a deal of money. A fortune, if you will.
Nefarious. So she planned to marry him just to get her hands on that fortune?
See what I tell ya? It's all about money. Objection.
From her?
100. Oh, it's him. You keep talking trash about my leader? Now sue
Oh, I
you.
hope he doesn't die in a stand.
Oh no, he totally might.
Me?
Yeah, you said you'd abuse my leader.
I think you mean accuse.
Same difference. What, you can't have her. She's mine. It was me. I shot that doctor. Me. He left me to die, so I left him to die. There in the park.
Well, Waki?
Are we about to get oh, I think I know what's gonna happen here. We're gonna end up getting a testimony from him. He's gonna say no one else was at the scene, and then we can present the slip and be like, no, she was there. He might know that she was there. And he might be trying to cover for her. You keep your hands off my leader, or I'll.
Miss Tiala?
I'm sorry. It just been so long since I've laughed so hard.
Something funny?
Waki, wake up and smell reality. Alita, baby. The signature on that chart. The engagement. I mean, come on. It's so obvious. Even for a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself. Alita? Your honor is like a breath of foul air, Fraulein. Your honesty, not your honor. Hey, I was getting out of this clean anyway.
So the family fortune is what you're really after.
That's right. I wanted the money. No way! That's whack! I ain't trying to hear that. I should have done the wedding earlier. Oh well. By the way, can I ask you a question?
Ooh, me?
I believe you said you were going to abuse me. Not what we said.
Accuse.
Of what crime, might I ask?
Huh?
Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to the brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. I mean, technically, we can also go the extortion route on her. Just trying to extort a fake relationship with him to get money. He could have fired it into the safe after I'd already left the clinic.
What?
I would never do a thing like that. I was definitely that silly brat.
Wait, but... What are you talking about? Trucy? You had the most to lose if that chart was found.
But I didn't have a pistol now, did I?
Well, you could have taken walkies.
You think he'd have mentioned that, no? All I've heard him say is, it was me. I shot him.
Objection!
That's only because he's trying to protect you.
Sorry to intrude on this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point.
What point?
Certainly, Fraulein wanted that shot. You assume she threatened the doctor into opening that safe. But then... wouldn't she have taken the shot? See, I mentioned this. So I definitely think Walkie's the one that fired the shot in the office, but that didn't hit home.
Oh.
You see? That shot would have been left in the wouldn't have been left in the safe.
He's right. Miss Tiala.
Yes?
Is it clear to this court that you're not a very good fiancé?
Oh, I'm flattered.
Perhaps it's time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and the whereabouts on that day.
Here we go. Here's where the slipper's coming.
Don't forget. We've proven that you're already the Maractus Clinic on the day of the crime.
I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. Wanted that chart, but I failed to get it, so I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't have proof I stole the pistol, do you? That brat was spotted in a park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, I don't think it matters if Dr. Maractus was shot in a temple or not.
The temple?
Yeah. We've known that, but was she ever told that's where he was killed?
He wasn't there that day. Was it all the arguments happened or not? You went back later.
That chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day. But you couldn't get the chart then, could you? And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting, waited a day, and then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place.
Ah, that was you.
Yep, we know. So it was her after all.
But the feet were in there before, right? So
That's why her shoes were... That might be why her shoes are
there.
there. But what about the slippers?
True. So you were the burglar.
That was you two. If only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened a safe and gotten the chart.
What? That's trespassing, and brazen at that.
Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. There are gangsters, you know.
In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination. Admitting this little crime to avoid the big ones, eh?